Lagos. It's 7:31 from our studios. It's Friday, and we're good to go. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
I'm doing this morning.
Yes, let's bring you the stories and the papers. You can watch on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch Nigeria Info 99.3. Let's start with the Vanguard. Ways out of banditry insurgency by ex-generals, security experts.
Okay, faced with this problem, of course, any suggestions from quote and unquote those who know will be very, very helpful. And I don't think we should be politicizing security. I don't think we should be making money at the slightest opportunity from security challenges. And that covers a wide range of the developments that we have. I believe we need to take it head on. The president, as the commander-in-chief, needs to hunt around very quickly for honest and professional advice. And he should be ready to make sacrifices, no matter whose ox is God. Until that happens, we'll be running around in circles, or like Fela says, we will be perambulating, running around in circles. Okay, so some retired generals have contributed to the discussions that are going on off and on air. And first of all, the situation here is, I don't think I want to go through that again. I think it's fairly well known developments in Plateau, Benue, Borno, and Sokoto. But the Vanguard reports that some retired senior military officers have weighed in on the recent surge in Boko Haram, ISWAP, and bandit attacks in parts of Nigeria, and they're offering valuable insights and solutions to address the growing security concern. Drawing from their extensive experience and expertise in counterinsurgency and counterterrorism, some of them blamed the onslaughts by insurgents on the lack of coordination. Lack of coordination on the side of the nation's security agencies. Some of those who are saddled with this responsibility, it appears to them they have more political considerations than military. And I'm counting what I'm saying in a manner in which you can sort it out in your mind yourself. People who have this responsibility, who should be hands-on, are more visible politically, and those little things, they matter because the troops behind you watch your body language. In security, you have to watch your carefully. So they propose a range of strategies to tackle the menace, including enhanced intelligence gathering. I think intelligence, I wish Captain Blade were here, would form close to 60%. Because what intelligence means is that you have the information of what's going on. Once that is done, it's a done deal. Then you will know what exactly to do if your intentions are true and thorough. They therefore propose a range of strategies to include the menace, to tackle the menace, include enhanced intelligence, community engagement, and socio-economic interventions. Retired Brigadier General Idris Bello says that we need a 1 million man military force to tackle the menace. And if you want to read 1 million, yes, we need to build up our troops. Somebody also mentioned the fact that, unfortunately, even the media will be very careful. In war situations, every information is key. But what we like to call on the military to truly look at the morale of our troops. It is very, very key. How are you treating these soldiers? Are you feeding them well? Do you have adequate health facilities? To put a uniform on a man, a gun, and tell him to go and die in the process, he must know that it is worth his while. What have you been doing to those who die in the course of action? What have you been doing to those who get injured in the course of action? Are they well armed? Because I don't need to be a war specialist to know that if I know that I get a feeling that the man on the other side is 10 times better weaponized than I am, I'll probably just run for cover. That's the honest to God truth. So we hope that in the near future, a total package. But let me tell you something I feel about defense. I'm not a defense expert, yes, but I know that in war situations, in situations like this, like in every other situation, perception is very, very key. And it covers a whole range. And one of the things that will give us confidence, we bloody civilians, whose input is also important, is if we can read, if we can get confidence, we can read confidence in those that lead us in this manner. They should be less politically visible and get down and be where the action is. And they should talk less. Oh, no.
Let's go to page 8. UTME glitches, Obi Ezekwesili, others worry over impact on students, parents.
You know, Sheriff, sorry for this aside. One of the biggest problems I have on this job, which I know you two have, is when some things are boiling inside you, but you can say it as it is, but then you need to think of other ramifications. But what I can say about this last subject on defense that we have is that I, Jimi Disu, as a person, my confidence level is very, very low. This thing has gone on for too long. It's been going back and forth. I'm gradually losing confidence in those that are supposed, and it's getting worse by the day. If I were the president, I will feel the need to do an overhaul from the very top to bottom. But I'm not the president. I never will be. Okay, let's go to the second story here. Obi Ezekwesili, the others worry on the impact of students. It is reported that Nance has said that JAMB should take responsibility for Timilehin's death. That is a very sensitive one, and I won't go into it. It's a very, very sensitive issue, and I won't go into it. Parents, candidates raise receipt fears. Reps to probe exam errors. I don't think it's just the reps that should probe. I believe that the federal government itself should get should set up a judicial panel of some sort. Well, no, not judicial, some security group, maybe DSS or whatever, and find out what actually happened.
Yeah.
I'm still of the view that this thing was done in order to remove this man, given his honest credentials. Because, look, let's look at it very well. He took responsibility, yes, but he wasn't the one. I hope the direct people in charge have been fired and properly investigated. I believe it is sabotage. Sabotage to embarrass him. It could also have been sabotage to embarrass the federal government. So there's a need for the government to take this thing seriously. It affects the credibility of all our educational efforts. It does. So I don't think we should wave it off. I think that we've had enough of the sentiments on this and that. Why did he cry? Whatever. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. And somebody should be telling us what exactly happened and who did what. Yes. What exactly happened and who did what. Obi says, don't let the glitches become a crisis. Ezekwesili says it is a national fiasco. Osajiroka says that it's laudable JAMB didn't say go to court. He's commending JAMB for not taking the path of many public institutions. ARC urges postponement of receipt. I think the receipt is done in a hurry, but let's see how it goes. Then the lawyer has sued JAMB, and the Minister for Education has sued them for 10 billion. Nan said that hold JAMB responsible for Timilehin's death. That's a sensitive one. I don't want to comment on it. But may the soul of Timilehin rest in peace. And House of Reps have decided that they want to probe JAMB. Parents candidates raise receipt fares. I think JAMB had better be well ready before they go on to do this receipt.
Alrighty. Also adding to that, the National Assembly is also calling for CBT centers to be built in 774 local government areas.
To build what?
CBT centers where these exams can be written.
Where are they written now?
Private people are the ones that own majority of the CBT centers.
So the government wants to build their own.
Yes.
No comment.
No comment, okay.
No comment.
Yes, this one concerns me. It concerns me because it concerns me.
I put it because of you. I was mischievous. I put it to give you a warning ahead. The next speech you are going to read is in honor of Shady Quadry. I read it out.
Why did you put it in honor of me?
So that it's to serve you notice. And also, my brother, if Tosi Disu is sleeping, somebody should go and wake him up. This will not be taken as an excuse.
As an excuse, I mean.
I read the story.
Salah, ram prices may rise as Niger Republic bans livestock export.
This headline is wrong. It's not really. It will rise. The notice we are getting is that Salah rams are going to be expensive this year because Niger Republic, our neighbors, who we haven't treated too well, have banned the export of livestock. And apparently, the bulk of the rams come from that neighborhood. So the Daily Trust says that at this year's Eid approaches, livestock dealers and buyers have expressed concern that rams and other sacrificial animals may become more expensive due to rising cases of rustling in parts of the northwest and the recent livestock export ban imposed by the Niger Republic. So Abdurrahman, whether it's expensive or not, what is it? Whether this is just it's to serve as notice to my Muslim brothers and sisters that maybe when is Salah anyway?
6th or 7th or maybe 8th
of
June.
It's around the corner.
Yes, it is.
The problem with buying a ram ahead of time is that how do you make sure that it stays alive? You're lucky your children are still young. Some people way back when we were much younger, they would take their parents' ram to go and fight in railway.
Oh, yes. 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 We did that too.
He did that too. Did you have an incident of a ram dying on you?
No.
I enjoyed my childhood, honestly. Everybody would take their rams to railway compound to go and fight.
I mean, look, this is an opportunity for me to say, I'm sorry, whatever happens. I'm just using the opportunity to say now whatever happens. I'm sorry.
My friend Kayode Kwaifa has promised me a free rail ticket to Ibadan during Sunday. We hope to get him here one day. We want to find out what he's doing at. Probably a free ticket.
Okay, let's go to the Metro page of the Punch.
The Metro page of the Punch has read a lot of news here. Where do I start? Okay, let me start from influencer Very Dark Man. He's been rearranged allegedly for cyberbullying a Norwood actress. Controversial social media influencer Martin Ose, Very Dark Man, was rearranged by the police yesterday before a high court in Abuja for allegedly cyberbullying Iyabo Ojo and Tonto DK. I don't know about all that, but it was arraigned before Justice Musa Liman on 5 counts to which he pleaded not guilty. Well, they will all have their day in court.
Very true. Some
other story here. Adamawa man arrested for alleged sodomy on 4 minors. Horrible thing to say. 10 Thai sailors, vessel convicted for trafficking cocaine. Midday fire disturbed services at Lagos Hospital. Which one? General Hospital Ifako Ijaye. There was a fire there yesterday, but was promptly put out. Now, this one, I was glad when I heard this. Lagos bans night construction activities. And 2 or 3 people have been congratulating us on this program for leading the fight for this. Part of security, really and truly, is to put certain things in place in your immediate environment.
Yeah.
And we had called for the ban on night construction activities, for construction to be restricted to certain areas. The Lagos State government now has announced that from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Mondays to Saturdays, as part of the new measures to improve safety and reduce disruptions. So all construction sites must be closed by 6 p.m. They must be under lock and key. Now, what the Lagos State government needs to do immediately is to set up a task force and make the rounds and enforce it. And this is a very, very nice development. I'm going to go after Dr. Olayinka Ilumide to come and explain further. He's the Commissioner for Physical Planning, and I'll get a friend to this. It says this restriction must be strictly adhered to by all stakeholders in the construction sector. And I agree totally. Now, it also falls on you in your neighborhood. If you find any violation of this or contravention of this order, you should immediately call the police for your own safety. Because what is happening, especially in the elite areas, specifically, for example, Ikoyi VI, is loaded with all kinds of people that you cannot account for. And they hide under this construction, whatever. Especially Ikoyi is notorious for that. Ikoyi and Lekki is notorious for this. And I hope the other thing I hope the commissioner would also look at is the fact that everybody on a construction site must be identified. So if Quadry and Sons are building a 10-story building, they should have a jacket that reflects that and should have a number. So everybody can be identified, including the Yonirais that comes to sell rice to them. If you don't put in these little, especially our upper class areas, they're highly polluted, and it's a disaster waiting to happen. It is a disaster. If you want to have an idea in VI, for example, about the volume of people that you can't account for, some of them are not even be Nigerians, take a drive around Ozuba and Badiwe at about 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning. Then you will see the kind of danger some of us are. And even other areas too. In your neighborhood, I'm sure there are loads of them. Because what has happened is, since the ban of Okada, these people have not gone back to their places of origin. They are spread all over, you know, and some are trying to do a legitimate job, yes, but a lot of them are doing things that otherwise make our lives completely unsafe. So I hope the government will place a premium on that every developer should have some kind of identifiable uniform, a reflective jacket, registered. So that at site you can, once you don't have that, we know, and they must enforce by 6 o'clock you must leave the neighborhood and the site must be locked up. It's going to be a tall order, but what happens in cases like this, you just need to make an example of certain persons and everybody will fall in line. So we also hear that the Lagos Neighborhood Corps, Lagos Neighborhood Safety Agency, have set up marine and forest guards, and that makes one very happy. The general manager, Prince Falade Oyekon, at the inauguration ceremony, which 38 newly elected officers took the oath of service. The new units you have are marine, forest rangers, technical and mechanical, paramedics, tailoring, crime scene management and forensics, domestic violence, research and innovation, and anti-human trafficking. This is interesting, Sheriff.
Yeah.
We should drag Prince Oyekon here.
That'll be interesting, actually.
Yes, it's interesting. It's a very, very nice development. I hope it will. I hope these things are not just theoretical and are put to proper practice.
Indeed. Now let's take a look at this story. Ibadan Mogajis reject Alaafin as permanent chairman, Council of Obas.
You see, this is what politics has done to our traditional institutions. And I don't know much about this. I don't know much about these things. But I had thought, choosing my words carefully, and I need to be educated. I had thought that in a place like Oyo State, for example, I had thought that if you are going to have a gathering of traditional rulers, the Alafin will be the chairman.
Naturally.
But yes, but I'm now being told not really. Can you please explain? But not really.
Naturally.
So, is it naturally? Oh, you said naturally?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said not really.
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But politics has set into all this, and the Ibadan indigents.
I'm not. Why are you pointing at me? I'm not an Ibadan indigent.
Yeah, Ibadan indigent.
I'm not.
That's where you.
I'm not from Ibadan now.
They will deal with you. You better say or lose your voice. They will deal with you. The Council of Ibadan Indigents, along with the Mogadis, Baales, and so on from Ibadan, opposed this Oyo State House of Assembly's effort to appoint the Alaafi of Oyo as the permanent chairman. Let me be very honest with you. The optics somehow look, and let me use Nigerian language. It looks somehow that Council of Meeting will go in on, and the Alaafi would. I need to be educated on this, to be honest with you. And then you then have somebody else being the chairman where he would be. I thought Obas were graded. I thought if you look at history, but then it's a very, very touchy subject. And like I said, we need to be educated about this development. Now, the question would have arisen, for example, if it was Western States and we didn't have Osun and Oyo, who would have been the chairman between the Oni and the Alafin? The superiority battle is going on in that area, and I don't know anything about. No, I don't know much about that. But I think everybody should learn to live and let live.
Yeah.
You saw when the Oni approached the Alafin at a public event, and the Alafin, he was seated. He stood seated. I don't think that standing up to say hello to him would mean submitting to any superiority. I think I'm inclined to think that it would have just been polite to stand up.
Mutual respect.
Over who is superior to the other, it doesn't put food on anybody's table. And it just stirs up undue sentiments. If I were the Alafin in the world, I'll never be one. It wouldn't have been much. In fact, if a very senior person had also come in, like Afeba Balola or whatever, or the great man from Owu,
yes.
Just that one, if he tried it, he would say, Edide! Ejoko! All these things, to be honest with you, are completely unnecessary, and let's all live in peace. Nothing is stationary in the world. As time goes on, there must be change. You cannot stick to what was happening only 300 years ago. Therefore, yes, I don't think so. What concerns us, we lesser minions, what concerns us is how to feed this big belly of ours.
How to put food there.
How to put food there and drink.
Yeah. Drink water.
And stay healthy.
Now, Daily Trust, this story, Nigerians have been talking about it. Front page Daily Trust. Nigerians reject Rep's proposal for compulsory voting.
Yes, okay. In some countries, when there is election, you must vote. You can go there and nullify your vote, but you must vote. And I think if you don't do it in Nigeria, increasingly, there'll be a lot of apathy, and what it would do is to throw the whole country into political chaos at some point. So I'm one of those who believes that compulsorily you must vote, you must say something. Some people will think otherwise. Anyway, the lawmaker had recommended 6 months jail or 100,000 naira fine for defaulters, but it's facing a lot of resistance. What you don't know, though, I will tell you. Politicians prefer that you don't vote at all. It makes it easier for them to rig. They will vote for you. So, left to me, I would really, really like there to be compulsory voting. What you have, countries like Australia, Belgium, Brazil, have adopted compulsory voting with positive outcomes. You must have a say in what goes on in your country. You can go there and tear the ballot paper, put it in an envelope, you have voted. So you don't really, it's not that you should vote for somebody, no. You should go there and indicate that I don't want to vote. You can put your pen and cross the two. It's allowed. I wish we would do that. There's too much apathy, and then you say, they are the ones who are doing. There's no they in governance. All of us need to be involved. That is where I stand. I don't know where Mr. Quadry stands, but he can speak for himself.
My position is that this is the true definition of gaslighting. It doesn't belong to them. That right does not belong to them. I mean, voting should be a free will, a free thing to do for anybody. They make voting almost impossible.
Who are they?
The politicians, of course. They make it very, very, very hard for people to do. Even when you vote, they make your vote.
And then we should tune up the system.
They make it inconsequential, because at the end of the day, it's the law court that will decide whether you actually voted or you didn't vote. So instead, I would rather they focus on good governance first. When they give people good governance, they don't need law to get people to come out and vote.
But you know that condition will not be met.
When they present good candidates, when they don't impose people on candidates on their people.
We can have an argument on this. We allow them to.
They can. So unfortunately, Nigerians have been numb to some of those things that the politicians do. So yes, knowingly or unknowingly, we allow them to get away with most of the things that they get away with. And I've always said that myself.
If we say that people must vote, I'm sure there'll be a better interest in what goes on. If compulsory, let's have it.
Has 6 minutes talk. MTN give you 3 extra minutes. Fiam to enter MTN Beta Gist. Dial *123 *2 *1 hash or text BG to 312. T and C's apply. Oh, what did happen now? No bonus for all my
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.